Success is not reserved for those who wait, but for those who take action. It's not enough to have dreams. You must have the courage to pursue them. Success belongs to the bold, the ones who step forward, face their fears, and take decisive steps toward their goals. Desire is a spark that ignites the fire of transformation. Without desire, there is no drive to change, to improve, or to reach for something greater. Napoleon Hill, in his renowned work Think and Grow Rich, emphasizes that desire is the starting point of all achievement. It is the force that moves individuals from where they are to where they want to be. However, desire alone is not enough. It must be specific, intense, and unwavering to propel an individual into the process of personal growth and transformation. Desire is the internal compass that guides decisions and shapes actions. The more intense the desire, the more committed a person becomes to achieving their goals. Without a burning desire for something better, individuals will remain complacent, accepting mediocrity as their reality. A weak desire will lead to weak results, while a strong desire will give birth to action, perseverance, and resilience. To transform, one must cultivate a deep and passionate yearning for change. When this desire is present, it provides the necessary motivation to push through obstacles and setbacks. At the core of desire is a clear vision of what is possible. It is not enough to simply wish for something. Transformation requires a definiteness of purpose. Napoleon Hill writes that you must define exactly what you want in specific terms and then focus all your energy toward achieving it. This clarity helps to align thoughts, actions, and emotions with the desired outcome. It acts as a blueprint guiding each step of the journey. When the desire is well defined, it eliminates confusion and provides a strong sense of direction, helping individuals navigate challenges and stay on course despite adversity. Desire fuels determination. When a person has a clear and strong desire, obstacles become less intimidating. Challenges that may have seemed impossible to overcome before now seem like temporary barriers to be surpassed. The strength of one's desire keeps them moving forward, even when the path gets difficult. The ones who transform are those who refuse to let go of their vision, no matter the hurdles they face. They keep pushing because their desire to change is stronger than any temporary defeat. Desire also helps to cultivate resilience. Transformation is rarely a smooth journey, and the road to success is often filled with detours and setbacks. However, desire acts as the fuel that helps people endure hardships, keeping their spirits high even when the situation seems grim. When desire is strong enough, it becomes a source of emotional strength, helping individuals stay focused on their goal rather than the difficulties in front of them. This resilience is a key component of transformation. Ultimately, desire is the catalyst for action. A person can dream all they want, but without taking consistent, deliberate action, those dreams will remain just that, dreams. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who stay stuck is often their willingness to act. Desire turns intention into reality. The more you desire something, the more you are willing to sacrifice, work, and persevere to make it happen. It takes courage to turn desire into action, and this is where transformation truly begins, when desire propels you into bold, decisive steps toward your vision. Excuses are the silent killers of progress. They offer temporary relief, but prevent long-term growth and success. We all face moments when life feels too hard, when challenges seem insurmountable, and when giving up feels like the easier option. However, embracing excuses as a way of coping with difficulty only keeps us trapped in a cycle of failure and missed opportunities. In contrast, the decision to kill excuses and embrace responsibility is the key to unlocking our true potential. It is a mindset shift that separates those who succeed from those who remain stuck. Excuses are rooted in fear, doubt, and insecurity. They are the mind's way of justifying inaction, of convincing us that we are not ready, not capable, or not worthy of success. When we lean on excuses, we give power to our fears. We allow ourselves to stay comfortable, avoiding discomfort and growth. However, true transformation begins when we reject the easy way out and take full responsibility for our lives, actions, and decisions. Responsibility means acknowledging that we are the architects of our own future. It is recognizing that the choices we make today determine the path we walk tomorrow. Embracing responsibility is the antidote to blame. It's easy to blame circumstances, people, or even past events for where we are in life. But taking responsibility requires a different approach. It means looking inward and understanding that we have the power to shape our destiny. Responsibility empowers us because it shifts control back into our hands. Instead of giving up or blaming others for our struggles, we recognize that every challenge is an opportunity for growth and learning. When we own our choices, we stop seeing obstacles as insurmountable problems and start seeing them as stepping stones to success. One of the most powerful aspects of embracing responsibility is the mindset shift it brings. Instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances, we begin to act as the master of our own fate. It takes courage to take responsibility for our failures and setbacks. But when we do, we free ourselves from the chains of helplessness. We stop waiting for someone or something to change and begin making the necessary adjustments in our own lives. Responsibility encourages personal accountability, which is the foundation for growth. It is the willingness to look at where we have fallen short, identify the areas that need improvement, and take the necessary steps to change. The more we embrace responsibility, the more we begin to see our own potential. Excuses cloud our vision, preventing us from seeing the opportunities around us. Responsibility clears the fog, allowing us to focus on the solutions rather than the problems. It helps us break free from a fixed mindset that believes we are limited by our circumstances and fosters a growth mindset that understands challenges as part of the journey towards success. Responsibility empowers us to act instead of waiting for the perfect moment, which may never come. Choosing to kill excuses is about taking ownership of our lives and realizing that we are in control of our destiny. Excuses keep us comfortable in our current state, but they also keep us from stepping into our true potential. Embracing responsibility is not just about owning up to our mistakes. It is about actively pursuing change, taking action, and growing in the process. When we stop making excuses and start taking responsibility, we begin to realize that we have the power to change our story. Fear is often the greatest barrier standing between us and our potential. It is a powerful emotion that paralyzes, distracts, and convinces us to stay in the comfort of the known, even when the unknown holds greater opportunity. Fear whispers in our ears, feeding doubt, insecurity, and hesitation, convincing us that the risk is not worth taking. However, if we are to live a life of purpose and fulfillment, we must make a conscious decision to let fear die so that faith can lead us forward. Faith, by its very nature, involves stepping into the unknown with the belief that the outcome will be favorable, even when we cannot see the full picture. Fear, on the other hand, only thrives in uncertainty. Every successful person has faced challenges, but they didn't allow those challenges to stop them from moving forward. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Failure teaches resilience. It forces us to dig deeper to try again and to find new ways of approaching our goals. In many ways, defeat serves as a teacher. It helps us refine our strategies, adjust our mindset, and enhance our determination. When we experience defeat, we have a choice. We can either let it break us or use it as fuel for the next attempt. The choice to persist in the face of defeat is what ultimately leads to success. Temporary defeat often reveals the areas where we need to grow. It pushes us to build character, develop new skills, and cultivate the perseverance necessary to overcome future challenges. Failure is not a reflection of our worth or potential. It is simply an indication that we need to adjust our approach. When we recognize that defeat is not permanent, we can approach our goals with renewed energy, understanding that each failure brings us one step closer to success. The danger comes when we allow temporary defeat to define our identity. When we start to believe that we are failures, we make it harder to get back up. Defeat is not a label, but a circumstance. It is something we experience, not something we become. The people who eventually succeed are those who are able to separate their circumstances from their identity. They understand that their worth is not tied to their failures. Instead, their identity is built on their ability to persist, to adapt, and to keep moving forward. What we do in the face of defeat matters more than the defeat itself. Do we give up, or do we rise again, stronger and more determined? The most successful people in history have faced their share of setbacks, but they have one thing in common. They refuse to accept defeat as final. They believe that temporary defeat is not permanent failure and kept moving toward their goals with renewed purpose and faith. Our mind is the most powerful tool we possess. It holds the potential to either propel us toward success or trap us in cycles of self-doubt, fear, and limitation. The way we think shapes the reality we experience. If we allow our thoughts to remain uncontrolled, they can become a barrier that prevents us from achieving our true potential. On the other hand, when we master our minds, we unlock the ability to shape our future in profound ways. The mind operates like a garden. If left untended, it becomes overrun with weeds of negativity, fear, and self-sabotage. These weeds prevent the growth of positive, constructive thoughts that could help us flourish. To control our future, we must consciously plant seeds of ambition, hope, determination, and confidence. We must choose to focus on thoughts that align with our goals and desires rather than allowing the distractions of doubt, regret, or worry to dominate our minds. The quality of our thoughts directly determines the quality of our lives. When we control our mind, we take control of the choices we make. Our thoughts influence our actions, and our actions determine our outcomes. If we believe that we are capable of success, we will act in ways that reflect that belief. Conversely, if we believe we are doomed to fail, our behavior will be guided by that fear, and we will inadvertently sabotage ourselves. Self-belief begins with controlling the thoughts that influence our decisions. When we take charge of our thoughts, we also take charge of our destiny. Controlling the mind requires discipline and intention. It's not enough to have positive thoughts fleetingly. We must work to maintain them consistently. In a world full of distractions, this can be a difficult task. The noise of external pressures, social comparisons, and negative influences can make it hard to focus on what truly matters. However, when we decide to take control, we create space in our minds for clarity and purpose. We begin to filter out the negativity and replace it with empowering, forward-thinking thoughts that align with our aspirations. One of the most effective ways to control the mind is through affirmations and visualization. These practices help to reprogram the subconscious mind, replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. By affirming positive statements about ourselves, our goals, and our future, we strengthen the belief that we are capable of achieving our dreams. Visualization allows us to mentally rehearse our success, embedding the image of our desired future into our mind. These practices foster a sense of certainty and direction that guide our actions in alignment with our ultimate goals. Another crucial aspect of controlling the mind is learning to manage emotions. Our emotions are powerful indicators of what we are thinking, and they can either motivate us or hinder us. When we are able to control our emotional responses, especially during challenging situations, we gain the ability to remain calm, focused, and objective. This emotional mastery allows us to think clearly, make better decisions, and stay on course toward our goals. Emotions, when managed effectively, can be powerful motivators rather than forces that derail us. The future is shaped in the present. Every thought we have today creates a ripple effect that influences the future we experience. If we fill our minds with positivity, discipline, and determination, we will cultivate a future filled with opportunities and success. Conversely, if we allow negativity, doubt, and fear to dominate our minds, we will find ourselves limited by those beliefs. Mastering our minds is not a one-time event. It is an ongoing practice of consciously choosing thoughts that move us closer to our desired future. The more we practice mental discipline, the more we begin to see the power of controlling our thoughts and how it influences the direction of our lives. Success is not reserved for those with the best ideas, the most talent, or the perfect plans. Success belongs to those who dare to take action. It belongs to those who step out of their comfort zones, face their fears, and make decisions that move them toward their goals, no matter the obstacles in their way. Taking action is the difference between dreaming of success and achieving it. The road to success is filled with opportunities, but only those who take action can capitalize on them. Many people wait for the right moment, for perfect conditions, or for a sense of complete certainty before making a move. This hesitation often leads to missed opportunities. Success, however, does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who are willing to act even in the face of uncertainty. Bold action is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. When we take action, we begin the process of transformation. Ideas, no matter how brilliant, are powerless without implementation. A plan, no matter how well thought out, remains just a plan if we don't take steps toward making it a reality. Action brings ideas to life. It is in the doing that we learn, grow, and refine our strategies. Each step forward builds momentum, propelling us closer to our goal. It is through action that we overcome inertia, defeat doubt, and conquer fear. Boldness is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to act in spite of it. Taking action also involves embracing failure as part of the journey. Many people are paralyzed by the fear of failing. They become so focused on the possibility of making a mistake that they fail to move at all. However, failure is not a sign of defeat. It is a necessary step in the process of success. Every failure teaches us something valuable. It provides insights that can be applied to future attempts. Those who are bold enough to take action are also bold enough to learn from their failures and keep moving forward. Another aspect of taking action is that it helps us build confidence. The more we act, the more we prove to ourselves that we are capable. Action takes us out of the realm of wishful thinking and puts us squarely in the realm of reality. When we see the results of our actions, whether positive or negative, we gain valuable experience. Each step we take builds our confidence, which in turn strengthens our belief in our ability to succeed. Confidence it belongs to the bold, the ones who get in the game and take decisive steps toward their goals. The key to turning dreams into reality is to take consistent, focused action. When we commit to acting on our goals, we send a message to ourselves and to the world that we are serious about our success. Boldness is not about being fearless. It is about being willing to face our fears head on and take action despite them. In the end, success favors those who act, those who take risks, learn from mistakes, and keep moving forward. It is not enough to simply wish for success or plan for it. We must take action. Success belongs to the bold because they are the ones who do not wait for the perfect moment. They create it. The world rewards those who take action, who push through the barriers of fear and doubt, and who relentlessly pursue their dreams with unwavering determination. In conclusion, success is not a passive pursuit. It is a direct result of bold action. Those who take the initiative, face their fears, and embrace the uncertainty of the journey are the ones who ultimately succeed. Waiting for the perfect moment or the absence of fear will only delay progress. The key to achieving our goals lies in our willingness to act, to learn from setbacks, and to keep moving forward. Remember, success belongs to the bold, those who take action, persist through challenges, and never stop believing in the power of their dreams.